to shut the cell off because the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad in pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see more desto. Hit your throw and I'ma catch those. Mexican, dummy pesos. Hit your sauce, I'll replace those. Number same.
Now we're cooking. It's the coach. This is the 2019 season on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Dalvin Cook. He's back and coming off a big game a weekend ago, as it'll be the Oakland Raiders taking on the Minnesota Vikings. I'll be back with you again with scores.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Oakland Raiders and the Minnesota Vikings. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. First-round pick from Alabama, Josh Jacobs. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
A run for Nick Chubb. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive.
Well, they got off the field on third down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime, but the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Chubb on first down, no room to roam as he struggles just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Ben Gideon in on the stop.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
Give them a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Now Locke, dancing to his left. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A Raider first down, 17 yards. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 34. Back to the running game with Jacobs. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future all-pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago. Really, it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
Throwing his run. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this crowd into it early. Their guys stand tall on the opening drive of the football game. Well, trying to be bold on the opening drive of the game, but that effort, it proves futile.
How many times have we talked with coaches where they've talked about taking the emotion out of their decision-making? I think that opening drive, if he didn't have it in his head to go for it before, I think that keyed into it. They were doing so well, and he decided to really establish something there. They didn't get it. Now they've got to make sure that they don't lose their focus.
On second down, Cook. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. And they have the first down with that gain of 4 yards. No score after 1 on EA Sports. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
So don't say nothing.
A toss to Cook. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings. A CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Cousins now. Complete. It's Johnson. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. Excellent placement, and off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. So what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
Oh, that's you, partner. And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. From the end zone, Love completes it to Aguilar. That one good for 13 and a Raider 1st down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit.
Now a hit and Locke lost the football. It's out, and the Vikings pick up the football. And they're going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
We'll be singing in the shower postgame. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
A reminder, coming up later tonight, a lot of buzz about this game. The Browns, they've been doing some travel. Back-to-back primetime games for them. Monday night they were in New York. Now the Browns head to Los Angeles to take on the NFC champs, Browns and Rams. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Vinny Curry, the defensive end, got there off the edge. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
That just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now a flag comes in from the umpire after a gain of about 4. And this looks like it's going to be holding. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
To throw on second down is Love. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. So troubles here offensively. I tell you, the noise in this dome, that has got to make it harder for these guys to hear.
Sometimes I find myself shouting up here. But you're right. If you can't communicate well or get off the snap count properly, it can cause big problems. And this qualifies as a big problem.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and give these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. 3rd and long for Cousins. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And last time they surrendered to safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get. And it's just so strange to see that go up on the board. And then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Now Luck says let's get going as he'll hustle him to the line. Back to throw. Love able to find Waller. That's complete. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. 1st down now, but the clock continues to move. On 1st down, it's Love. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
On 2nd and 10, Luck. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. To the air again. Luck. And that is incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th.
Shift.
They snap it to Locke. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Hunter Renfrow with his first career NFL touchdown, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. And a lot of football, a full half to be played. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Adam Thielen and the rest of the Vikings offense, they get set for their next possession. Not only does he not have a catch, I don't think he's been targeted in this game, but they're winning.
And if you ask a receiver of his magnitude, he'll tell you that it's because everyone is focused on him anyway. Okay, you've taken it away. No catches, no targets, but we're still winning. I've opened things up for the rest of my team. I know how receivers think.
And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Vikings to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Starting the third quarter with Cook. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Check Mike 57. Mike 57. Let's go.
To throw is Cousins. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
Here we go.
Move the chains. A gain of 7 on 3rd down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. And Marquell Lee with a stop defensively.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's a throw dropped off to his fullback. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Good work after the catch, gets him 15 and a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 47. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. The tackle there by LaMarcus Joyner. Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. And he's going to be close to a first down as he gets this to the Raiders' 15-yard line.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. Cook, but he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. No surprise this offense would be able to convert. They're currently second in the league in first downs, and they pick up one here.
Yeah, not a stat that we talk about a heck of a lot, but it's a vital one. And in this
rush coming, and he's taken down. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Kyle Rudolph, his second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially.
And oh, it's blocked. Picked up by the offense. This is a live ball.
That's our ball, baby. Going the other way.
Following the botched PAT, they're set to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know in the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Check.
To throw again on second down. Luck being chased out left. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. 23 yards the pickup there. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the fourth. On 1st and 10, Locke. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 27-yard line. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. That's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Here we go on fourth. Lock. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Ben Gideon, and the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Well, they were 2 for 3 on fourth down tries. Now they're unsuccessful. That brings them down to 50%.
But that's a percentage you have to feel pretty good about. You know, 2 for 2 for 3 before that. They finally get stopped again. That's okay. That's the type of team that'll keep pressing. In this situation, they'll continue to go for it. Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. First down, here's the run with Cook. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Now a run with Cook, and he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around a training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach, he's in big trouble.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to perhaps salt this one away. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and that will bump the lead up to 11. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, let a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
Andrew Luck in the offense. Down by 11, 2:07 remaining. Their perfect start to the season in serious peril as they come up on 1st and 10. To throw is Luck. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. He's picked off at his own 46, and he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
Face mask. Defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. They run it again with Cook. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. 2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. On the carry, it's Cook. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. Bailey's kick is good, and that will get the lead up to 14. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The game's gone final in Indianapolis. And the Falcons, they wind up winning that one. Matt Ryan, a touchdown pass to help lead the way. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
The face mask moves them all the way out past the 40 now for first down.
You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't block me.
49, check 49, check 49.
Bang, 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 bang.
Now Locke. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Check 13, check 13.
Check, check.
One last throw here for Locke. He's going to let it fly. And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted.